Morning, this is John. I haven't had my coffee yet. Bear with me. I pulled this reel out of a box of reels. Most people would say, yeah, it's, take my glasses off. I can't see nothing with my glasses on. Don't laugh. You'll get there someday yourself. Most people would just throw this in the parts bin. But I pulled this thing out of the box and I saw Sportfisher on it. And anybody that grew up in the 70s and liked outdoor stuff, you know where this reel came from. This came from Sears. And it reminded me of my old man. Because we went to Sears all the time and bought Sears and Kmart. There was no tackle shops in my hometown. You had Sears and Kmart. There wasn't a Walmart. And there wasn't Sportsman's Warehouse. We still don't have a Bass Pro Shops here. We have one tackle shop here. They're decent. They're decent people. But they cater to mostly trout fishermen and cat fishermen, but not really to bass fishermen or surf fishermen. So, but anyway, let me go back to what I was saying. I pulled this out of the box and my eyes teared up. It reminded me of my old man. It looks like something he would use when he was younger. He never bought a name brand anything. And, he wasn't a man of means. He was a school teacher and a high school football coach. And he gave his all to teaching young men, including this young man. And, well, I'm an old man now. I'm his age when he passed away, pretty close, within a few years. And, it reminded me of him and inspired me to go ahead and fix this thing. And I brought down a couple of his original reels, and I still have them. I remember going to Walmart with him, and we bought this reel here. This is, I just did that compact the other day, and this reminds me of that compact. And I believe that's who this was made by. But it's a Kmart brand. And it's a very high quality reel. And he caught a lot of fish on this little thing. It's still got the last line on it he put on it. I used to think it was made by Garcia Mitchell, but after seeing that compact I just worked on, I'm pretty sure it's that's what it is. And that's cool. I was going to cut the line so we could give her a spin. It's got line still. He probably tied it on there. Tied onto the handle right here. My first firearm, I guess we can talk about firearms on YouTube. Who knows? Look how smooth. Bought that in like 74, 75, I guess, something like that. 1974, 75. My first firearm he bought me when I was 11 years old. And my dad wasn't a gun guy. He really wasn't, but he wanted me to have a firearm. We lived on farm. And he said, it's your job to take on all firearm duties. And he says, I want you to learn how to be safe with a firearm. So I learned all the things about owning a firearm with a little book called The 10 Commandments of Firearm Safety. He made me recite that to him. And that screeching you're hearing is that. Another Kmart. This I believe to be an Olympic, and it's actually made in Korea, and that was in the mid-70s. He caught a lot of fish off the pier and in the surf with this reel. He loved this reel. Still on its original rods, both of them. And so my first firearm was a Ted Williams. What do they call that? It was a 22 rifle, semi-automatic rifle. I've been around semi-automatic firearms from day one, so they don't scare me a bit. But it was a Ted Williams. I want to say it was a T3 or something like that, but it was actually a Winchester 190 semi-automatic rifle, 22 shot. And I still have that firearm today. I'd show it to you if I knew it was legal on the YouTube. But it's a great gun, and it's got probably 20, 30,000 rounds through it. I used to go to, when we'd go to town and go to Kmart, I'd buy a couple bricks of 22s. Last me for a week or so. And I'd shoot up cans, milk jugs, and whatever, and took care of the rodent population on the farm, and any calf or not calves, but steers or cows that had to be dispatched. That was my job. And the old man, he was really quite a character. And if you know anybody that knows him, they played football for him, they'll tear up when they talk about him. He could pull every ounce of you out of you didn't know you had, and make you feel good about it. He had football teams in the late 60s that were absolutely phenomenal. Would have easily won state championships had Virginia had state championships in the late 60s. Everybody remembers the movie Remember the Titans. That was the first year that Virginia had a Virginia State Championship playoff. And that movie was, the actual story of that movie was right here in Roanoke, in a high school called Andrew Lewis, right down the road here, which is actually Salem now, because the Salem city became incorporated and took over the schools, and now it's a Salem school, not a Roanoke school. But that school still stands. It's a middle school now. But that's when the playoff system started in Virginia. So Dad would have had some state championship teams up to that point, but it didn't. It's okay. He went 10-0. That's all you could do. That's the best you could do, was win 10 games. So a lot of those young men then are in their 70s, approaching 80 now. And I'm friends with a lot of them on Facebook, and we talk a lot. And they rarely don't have something to say about Dad if they don't get emotional. He just knew how to make somebody successful. But that's beside the point. That's just me talking about my old man and how much I loved him. This soul reel looks like something that Charlie Hamas would most definitely go fishing with. So because of that, I'm going to fix it up. I'm going to take it to a flea market whenever I get out to a flea market. And I'm going to give this reel to a kid. I'm going to find, one of the dads will start talking to me. Ooh, look at all that. One of the dads will start talking about surf fishing or fishing off a pier. And I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, Junior there got a surf reel? And the answer is no. Junior or Juniorette is getting a surf reel. This will be a really nice reel when I clean it up. It looks like hell right now. I can't do anything about the paint, but I can do something about the dirt. Yeah, so it's got the leather washers are in the middle and the fiber washer at the bottom, which is pretty much protocol for these reels. Do not put these leather washers in the ultrasonic. You will regret it. Well, let's take it apart. They curl up. I should probably emphasize why I said that. They curl up and you'll never get them straight again. I'll take them and just clean them with some WD-40 or something and put some Cals on them. And Cals will make them right. So thank y'all for letting me talk about my dad for a few minutes. He was a pretty awesome dude. Lost him in 2003. He was waiting on a liver transplant. He had a rare liver disease called preliminary sclerosing cholangitis. That's a lot of words for a mechanic. Very unique man. Good man. This is a Daiwa through and through, if I had to guess. There is a shim on here, maybe two. I like to take them off. Is there another one on there? Yep. It's hard to tell as they get real shiny right there with the bearings or bushings. This is a bushing reel. Touch those gears and stuff. Yeah, I don't think that bushing comes out. We'll clean it in place. It looks like it's part of the cover, actually. Yeah. I don't think that's that's just what it is, okay? Really don't need to go any further with any of this in here. This has got an instant anti-reverse. Well, no, it's not instant anti-reverse. It reverses where the rotor's up here where you can cast. Like I said, I do believe this to be an Olympic. Maybe that's the left-hand thread. Nope. Okay. Time for something bigger. Gosh, I never put my 20 millimeter back from that French reel the other day. Whoa. Maybe it is. Yep, it is a left-hand thread, folks. That one threw me off a little bit. We'll come back to that. All right, you got 3 screws here. Let's get with something a little more substantial. You got one of them's got it's a special screw in it. This is your bell trip. Nothing wrong with that. I'll never forget that night we had been to the coast. We had caught some fish and on the Outer Banks, and Nag said, went down there with one of his friends who was also one of his football coaches, assistant coaches. He and his wife had a house down there. And we caught some fish and we fell in love. Both of us fell in love with fishing on the ocean. It was just Dad's thing, you know. And he walked up to that rack and he said, "Man, those are those are nice reels for cheap. And I was like, Dad, those aren't really name brand reels. He said, son, you're gonna find out in life. Most everything's made by the same damn people. And he was 100% right about that. So this has to come out kind of in a weird way. Yeah. This is the it's a silent anti-reverse, and it locks into the tab of that. So I think I got to put that in first and slide the. No, that won't work. Oh, I can slide it in from the outside. I took it apart wrong. That's okay. We're learning. So the rest of that can be cleaned up. I haven't had my coffee yet. I'm getting ready to head up and fix it right now. I wanted to get this video done this morning. I'm talking about my dad for a minute. That's always one of my favorite subjects. Boy, I hope I can get this apart. It looks like it's had a rough life. Oh, well, look at that. Some kids will get a nice old reel. That's all I got to say. Let's get more organized here. The parts are starting to get on my nerves here. Yeah, that goes with that, actually. Okay. Hey, it's got a liner. Or does it? No, it does not have a liner. Okay. I thought it had a liner like a Daiwa. Yeah, I could see my old man picking one of these up. Now, the Sears we had in my hometown was a catalog store. None of y'all gonna know what the hell a catalog store is. You went in there and you just like mail order today. You placed an order, and a while later your merchandise would show up, and they'd call you and say, "Come pick it up." That's what a catalog store was. They took place of the internet, which did not exist. There's a spring under this. It's pretty easy to go back in there. I'm not too worried about getting that back in. I think this has got a counterweight under it. As long as they keep coming out, we'll keep taking screws loose. I almost lost a screw. No, it's just a cover for looks. This is going to have your typical Daiwa style push-pull spring under it. And there is the entire reel. Very, very simple reel. I'm still waiting on my parts washer to warm up. I'm up late this morning. I'm usually up at 4:30. It was 6 o'clock when I got up. So while my parts washer is warming up, I'm gonna go get some coffee. I actually got down here about the same time I normally do, but without my coffee. My old man loved his coffee too. I'm not supposed to drink it. There. All right, we're gonna soak this stuff. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I've decided that we're gonna name this reel We're going to name it Charlie in honor of my dad. And I'm going to post this video on Father's Day in his honor. How about that? And I don't know if I mentioned, I think I said Walmart. These reels were both bought at Kmart. We didn't even have a Walmart in Roanoke or near where I lived in Franklin County. We didn't have a Walmart near Franklin County until late 80s. These were bought in the 70s. And I have gone through both these reels probably 10, 15 years ago, and they haven't been used since. I went through them right after Dad passed. So longer than that probably. Anyway, let's do this. Let's put us together a cool old reel. Some kid's gonna get a gym. And there's a little bitty spring. It goes in there. And I want to say, okay, let's do it like this. Let's hook it. It'll take me a minute, folks. It'll take me a minute. This goes, we need more grease. That's not enough grease. That thing moves. You know, this thing's going to be used a lot. I'm just kidding. I hope it is, but I got to find that right kid that's got that love, that spark for fishing, and give this reel to him. Got to find them. In my dad's honor. So that goes, everything's dirty like this. Okay. Yeah, that's right. But you know what? I was supposed to put this on first. That's okay. We'll sneak it up under there. I'm going to hold on to this. Does it go up in there? Oh no, it got this one. All right. Yeah, that's how it went. We'll get it, man. We'll get it. I think it took this screw right here. And then this went like that. It gets one of these. There we go. That's factory right there. Let's go over to this side. Lots of grease. Mechanically, this reel is like, I'd say it's like 80%, 90%. Cosmetically, yeah, she's rough, but it's okay. All right, what am I doing wrong? Does it go like this? No, it doesn't. No, it can't go like that. All right. That one was hard to get out if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure it's the short side goes over here. So you'll put that bell spring in there, and we'll go ahead and put the bail arm on it. You gotta pick up that bail spring right in there like that. And then it gets this pretty crusty old screw, but mechanically, it ain't going nowhere. put some grease on top of that and put the cover in it. Sometimes you got to loosen this back up, get those covers to sit in there just a little bit. Don't take it too far, just enough to get it to pop in place. There we go. Sportfisher. A lot of, well, pretty much all of Sears branded stuff was rebranded. Okay, let's put, this goes in just like this. We'll put some grease down in there too. And it gets this massive looking bolt right here with a shoulder on it. And now we can do this. We can do the roller. Let's get some heavier oil here. Put that roller on. Roller will go either way, and it still spins good and free. And then you've got this standoff that goes on there just like that. I'll go put some grease right there. And then this screw will come through, grab it right there. You can hear the crunchiness from the sand even after all that cleaning. It's still crunchy. When you throw the bail trick comes over like that. That's that. Well, probably need to let that go forward. Let's oil that mechanism in this. And your bearing, well, this goes on first, like that. You don't want to put any oil on that, okay? And I can't remember if that had a shim on it or not. Definitely need to give the bearing a little bit of oil. We'll give it some of this 90 weight. There's these two shims here. They don't go out here. They go, I want to say they go underneath. We're going to find out here in a minute. I'm either going to get it right or I'm going to get it really wrong. These two go with the crank. I don't know why I got the crank over there. Oh, line this up with that tooth. Slide it in. See how it's grooved right there? You're going to go in and line that up. Wow, that's a tight fit. Line that up with that groove. All right, we got that. And see, when it turns, that's your anti-reverse. Okay. I hope I got the stack heights and everything right. All right, let's give those grease holes screw holes some grease. And we'll go pack a little bit of grease around that bearing to keep any salt water out of it. Your retainer got this trip. It's a screw with a big head on it. There's a special part you would never find anywhere, ever. Goes right on top. You would have to make that if you wanted that. You would have to 100% make that part. Tighten that down. I do believe that might have, let's take that back off. I'm pretty sure I messed up there. Okay, not a problem. See how that thing, it comes out the same way it goes in, but I will say, not very easily. I don't have to take it all the way out though. All I gotta do is figure out which one of these goes in there. I want to say it's that one. Then this will go in, and then that can go back into its spot right there, and then we can put this on. I should have paid more attention. I didn't. Those shims are important to get them back in the right place that the reel operates and functions like it should. We'll have to check it out. Shoot. Just get on there. Okay, don't. Goodness gracious. My hands are greasy. That's part of the problem. Then this, I do remember there was, I'm pretty sure that thicker one goes right there. And then your rotor can go on. And then it got this lock and then a nut, which was left-hand thread. Oh, come on. Okay, don't. All right. Okay, there we go. Got it started. It wants to mess with me. All right, and you see how this anti-reverse works. When it turns in reverse, that comes around and catches. It's got just one tooth catches. Okay. Not my favorite setup in reels. If y'all know that about me. I'm not a big fan of that, but it's okay. Well, I don't like other people love, vice versa. Put the gear on there, and then I lubricate the gear after I get it in there. I just go around it good. Okay. And your crossline block, grease that good, put it in there. Goes in like that. Now the gear, we'll lubricate it up good. The bushings, the teeth, the whole 9 yards. All right. And it can go, let's rotate that out of the way. Go straight up in there. Like that. And you got a shim. And a washer goes in there. Then your axle shaft. Make sure you put some, I'm going to put a little bit heavier oil on that because it's got a lot of slop in it. It's been worked on pretty hard by the sand and corrosion and stuff. We're going to put that in and run the screw into it. As I said, the inside of this reel looks really nice. In really good shape. It was used in salt water, but it wasn't abused. It wasn't dumped in the water or anything. The only thing I'm concerned about is if I got those spacers wrong, it may not pack the line onto the spool correctly, but I don't really have any way of checking that because I'm not going to spool this thing up. But if somebody buys it from me, if they send me a message or having problems with it, I'll walk them through how to fix it, I guess. And grease that up good and put your cover on. Ultra 550Z, high speed, ball bearing, self centering. Okay. Whatever you say. This handle was really, it had stuff packed. When I put this in the ultrasonic, black and gray looking stuff came out of here for about 2 minutes. It's still rough, but not like it was. It was full of crud. Oh boy, that smoothened it right up. Look at that. That's like brand new. This thing was set up on the wrong side. I don't know, some people, man, they like it cranked. They like to cast to the left and crank to the right. I don't know. I'm just kidding. It's all good. Very, very smooth. Very smooth. We'll put the cap on this side. And I'm going to wipe it down and give it a good spin before I put the drag together. It's probably going to sling oil everywhere. I would fish with that. That's super smooth. I'm real happy with that. Real happy with that. Let's work on the drag. This is pre-dried out, so it's going to get some cowls. This is part of the drag. You don't realize that. That washer that goes between the spool and the axle shaft is part of the drag system. Like it or not. I cleaned these washers pretty good. See, they're not too awful bad. I'm going to give them a really good coating of it. Because they've been in there a minute or two. Those are leather. And that's the first washer that goes in. So, clean some of that off my hands. Got a bait clicker down here, but there's nothing to oil. It's just a little metal prong. So we're good there. Get that washer first. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think that's right. Then it gets a keyed washer. Leather washer. Eared washer. Leather washer. And then keyed washer and key with the key with those little slots up. Because they catch there's little slots on the drag knob and it gives you a little notch when you crank up or down the drag. Pretty nice. So there's that. Line out clipper works. Let's give that a little bit of grease. And there's that notch. See? It tells you you're giving it 3 notches more drag or 3 notches less drag, whatever. I tried to get as much corrosion off the spool as I could, but I could only do so much with it. So there it is. That's a nice old reel. Well made. Anti-reverse works. You can cut it off. You can cut it back on. It only hits 1 notch. That's for surf fishing. There's really nothing wrong with that because you're soaking a bait. But if you were throwing metals or something with it, that'd be a problem. But surf fishing, it's not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. Well, this is John, the Vintage Fisherman. Hopefully this reel. Oh. I was wrong all along. This isn't a Sears reel. How many of y'all are out there saying, hey, dummy, Sears didn't sell Sportfisher brand? Does it say Sportfisher on it? No. No, guess what? It says right there, manufactured in Korea, distributed by a Kmart corporation, Troy, Michigan. It's a Kmart reel. I went this whole video calling it a Sears reel. It's a Kmart reel. How many of y'all ready to smack my naughty head over that one? 300 yards, 17-pound test. I'd probably put 20 on it. It'd handle it. So it's a Kmart reel. No wonder it reminded me of my dad. Oh, I have my moments. But anyway, I decided I'm going to put this video out on Father's Day. This will be my second video on Father's Day. So I want to say happy Father's Day to everybody. All you dads out there. If you do fatherhood right, it ain't easy. It's just the way it is. If you do it wrong, you probably don't know your kids. And that would be horrible. So if you're sitting around watching this video, when you get done watching the video, do me a favor. Like and subscribe, of course. But also grab those rods and reels, wipe the dust off of them, shoot a little oil here and there on them, and grab up your one of your kid or your kids, your grandkids, or your neighbor's kid. Don't grab them literally, but or find a kid that wants to go fishing, and take them. If you know a single mom out there that has a kid that she doesn't really know what to do with them fishing, take them both and teach her what to teach the child, and take them fishing, and you won't regret it. It'll be a memory for both of you. He or she will never forget you. So anyway, happy Father's Day, everybody. This is John, Vintage Fisherman. I'll catch you on the next video. Stick around, there's a bunch coming.